Okay, let's take a look at some examples. What I would do if I were you is try some of these on your own and then go back and watch how I do them and see if you got them right. So the first one here we have power of a quotient. So what that means is everything inside the parentheses, both numerator and denominator, gets raised to the negative second power. So 3 to the negative second over 2 to the negative second. Then we have the negative exponents that we have to deal with. So 3 to the negative second power is in the numerator, which means we need to move it to the denominator and then make it a positive exponent. And 2 to the negative second is already in the denominator, so we need to move it to the numerator and make it a positive exponent. Then we want to actually evaluate those exponents. So 2 squared is 4 and 3 squared is 9. That's your final answer. The second example, we have a product of power. So the base is 4 and that is being multiplied. So what you do is you add your exponents. So we keep the base and add the exponents. So we have negative 3 plus 5 is 2. 4 squared is 16. Our third example, we have 5 to the 0 power. Any number to the 0 power is 1. Simple as that. And then number 4, we have 10 to the 8th divided by 10 cubed. So we have quotient of powers. So we keep the base, which is 10, and subtract the exponents. So 8 minus 3 is 5. 10 to the 5th power, 100,000. All right, let's take a look at some other examples that involve variables. So here we have a power of a product. So we have terms inside the parentheses being multiplied together raised to the third power. Everything inside the parentheses gets raised to the third power, so including the negative 3. So negative 3 cubed, we have a cubed, b to the 4th cubed, and c squared cubed. So negative 3 to the third power is negative 3 times itself 3 times, which is negative 27. A cubed is already simplified. B to the 4th cubed is a power of a power. So you multiply the 4 and the 3, we get 12. And c squared cubed, multiply 2 times 3, you get c to the 6th. There are no negative exponents, and you have one of each type of term. So that is your final answer. All right, in our next example, we have 3 terms being multiplied together. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the coefficients. 3 times 6 times negative 2, we get negative 36. X squared times x cubed. So we're multiplying the same base, so it's product of powers. So we keep the base, which is x, and we add the exponents. The exponent here is a 1, so we need to add that. And then the y's, we have y to the 4th times y to the 5th times y squared. So we add all those exponents together. So we have negative 36, x to the 6th, y to the 11th. All right, number 7. We have a division problem here. So looking at 4 over 18, reduce that like you would normally. 4/18 reduces to 2/9. And then we're dividing the variables. We have quotient of powers, so we keep the base and subtract the exponents. 3 minus 1, and then b to the 1st minus 4. So simplify, we get in the numerator 2a squared b to the negative 3rd over 9. And then notice we have a negative exponent, so we need to move this term down to the denominator. That is the only thing being raised to the negative 2nd power, or the negative 3rd power, so everything else stays where it is. Okay, we have a lot going on here for number 8. We have power of a product in the numerator, so let's deal with that first. So everything gets raised to the 3rd power in the numerator. 2 cubed x to the negative third cubed and y to the fourth cubed. All over 4 squared, x to the negative fifth, y squared. So evaluate the numerator. 2 cubed is 8. X to the negative third cubed is x to the negative ninth because we multiply our exponents. And then y to the fourth cubed is y to the 12th. Our denominator, 4 squared is 16. X to the negative fifth, y squared. Okay, so we have some things we can simplify here. Notice you have an x in the numerator, x in the denominator, so we do need to simplify those. We can reduce 8/16 to 1 over 2. So x to the negative ninth, we're going to subtract the exponent from the denominator, so minus negative 5. And then the y's, we have y to the 12th minus 2. So our numerator, we have 1 x to the negative 4th, y to the 10th over 2, and then move just the x term to the denominator. We get y to the 10th over 2x to the 4th. Okay, number 9. Multiplication. So we're multiplying two fractions together. We're going to multiply straight across, and I'm going to align my terms here. Okay. So 2/12 reduces by 2, so 1/6. X to the 4th divided by x squared. Keep the base, subtract your exponents. And y cubed divided by y to the 5th. 3 minus 5. Okay, so our numerator, we have x squared, y to the negative second over 6, and move the y to the negative second to the denominator, x squared over 6y squared. All right, that's our final answer. Last one here, number 10. Okay, we have a bunch of stuff going on here as well. So what I'm going to do is in the numerator of the first fraction, we have a power of a product. So I'm going to take the 2, raise it to the 4th power, take the y, raise it to the 4th power. Keep my denominator. Then the second fraction, I have a power of a quotient. So it is x squared cubed. And my denominator is y cubed cubed. Okay, so I'm going to evaluate 2 to the 4th is 16 y to the 4th over x squared times 2x squared cubed, multiply the 2 and the 3, so we get x to the 6th. And then the denominator, y to the 9th. Now we can multiply straight across. We get 16 x to the 6th, y to the 4th, so the order there doesn't matter. I'm just putting my x first and my y second. And then we have x squared over y to the 9th. All right, and so if we simplify this, we get 16, we have x to the 6 minus 2, y to the 4 minus 9. And finally, looks like we get 16 x to the 4th, y to the negative 5th. Running out of room here. And move the y to the denominator. So 16 x to the 4th in the numerator, y to the 5th in the denominator. Final answer, one of each type of term, coefficient, an x, and a y. And no negative exponents.